morning. So I'm getting some editing done, whipping together many of the wonderful Green Family Legacy episodes that I absolutely love. And it's just a nice morning, so I thought I would share it with you guys because we have got some wonderful lettuce blooming. Does lettuce, well, lettuce can bloom. I should say some lettuce growing over there. We've got my lovely ladies in their cage right over here. They're doing quite well, which is a big relief. I thought that we were going to lose Pumpkin like when we lost Ossie Jr., but she has rallied. I'm very relieved, and she's doing pretty good. She's even grown in some new feathers, so she's getting over her molt, which is fantastic. But it's just a nice morning, so I thought I would share like how beautiful it is here, just to give you guys a little bit of the peace I'm feeling today. My pitcher plant's growing. My mushrooms are not doing so well, so I think it's about time to go ahead and possibly eat them. My orchid is blooming. Look at this beautiful thing. I think that its little sibling flowers over here are going to be blooming any minute now too, which is going to be so exciting. The first bloom in 4 years. The kinds of things that giving your plants and yourself the right kind of water and the right kind of nutrients will change in your life. Oh, the orchid's being shy. It does not want to focus. There you go. Beautiful. And then we've got lots and lots of Green Family episodes that I am currently pulling together. I'm so excited. I have a little list of the titles so I can go through and find, oh, I love those cow plants. I really need to come up with my plan to do some cow plant related like merchandise and drawings because I freaking love cow plants. But putting that together while watching Safari Live! I freaking love Safari Live. I need to like make an entire fan reaction or something. How to explain. This has actually been one of the most important finds of the year. We found it on my birthday when we were just ambling around on YouTube, and I think it's changed my entire life. But we also have my little giraffe squirrel and a really, really, really nice cup of tea that is currently brewing. And this is actually, I wish I could give you guys the smell of this. It is a mellow green tea with roasted rice, so toasted popped rice in it. Not like Rice Krispies, like roasted and, how to explain it, rich, a little bit sweet. I really love it, and it's this amazing tea that I got from T2, so definitely worth it. I love my Essentia green tea. It's so good, and it's gonna help me tell more adventures. The ladies are enjoying some sprouted seeds that we actually made for them that hopefully I'll be able to show you guys if I haven't already in a little indoor garden leafy update vlog. But they really seem to like them. They don't really like the sprouts, they just like soaked seeds. So noted. Here I am editing. I was watching a recorded 3-hour live stream of the Safari sunset with the Nat Geo crew who does Safari Live. 3 blissful hours of hanging out with the guides who have their different personalities, the slow, relaxed pace of driving around in the different national parks in Africa, and you have to be patient. The pace of nature. I love it. But there I am. Oh, they found a bird. This is live right now. There I am watching a pre-recording, and then here we are live while I work. And there's just these people going around looking at nature and talking about it and answering questions about it. And I swear my heart has never been happier. And I actually feel like, on one level, my heart's been happy in lots of ways. But what I'm trying to say is I feel what I think is the siren song of a calling. And now they found a whole bunch of antelope. This is happening right now. Oh. This is amazing. I want to do this. I want to do this so bad. My videos are done for the day. All of my email inboxes are at inbox 0. I have done all the big tasks that I had assigned myself that were reasonable to do for the day. I could do more, but all the main stuff is done. Chips is taking a nap, and I think I'm going to take you guys on a walk. Yep, there's been some creatures in the forest. And if you can identify whose poo this is, let me know. I don't think it's deer. There's not a lot of it. But that would be part of a biologist in training, naturalist in training, trying to figure out who left behind this poo and solve a little bit of the mystery of who's been around lately. I wonder if someone tried making a nest out of this and it just kind of got enlarged. You can see another woodpecker, probably, hole right up here where they've been pecking away and trying to drill into the tree. But when I walked up to this, I thought, I see these all the time, tree cavities sprinkled all around the forest that are pretty large in size, and how cool would it be to have a story where you have a forest of lost treasures and the treasures are hidden inside of the tree cavities. So there's different treasure inside of each tree cavity, but you have to reach inside to find your treasure. And maybe there's a guardian of the forest who only lets you take one treasure and you can't see what's inside the tree cavity. And you have to decide, will you risk it being something big and reach into a big hole? Or maybe there'll be an animal there waiting to bite you? Or will you reach into a small little spot hoping for a priceless gemstone or something like that, and maybe get a poem written by someone long ago to the love of their life inside? That would be such a fun series of short stories, like different adventures coming into the forest of lost treasures and the tree cavities hiding those little treasures, perhaps even like an egg that might hatch into something special. There's a lot of lore about eggs in tree cavities that hatch into babies, actually, like Thumbelina, or there's one about swallows from Japan. Oh, I just love how inspired I feel when I come out here. Also, what the heck? Oh, the crows are up to something fun. Let's go see. That's a jungle gym for squirrels, all right. Look at all those twisting vine branches. Far up in that tree behind us, and backlit, so they're a little difficult to see even with their beautiful black feathers, but whew, I love watching crows, even they're watching me, even from that far away, because I always have that eerie feeling of watching a very intelligent animal, of who's really watching the watcher, and crows definitely give me that sensation. They're so intelligent. Oh, off they go. I wish I had more to show you guys right now, but it's kind of still the same as it's been for the past 5 months. Since really abrupt leaf down that we had, well, it wasn't as abrupt as last year, but since leaf down in October, November, December, January, February, March, April, working our way into May. It was still April, so I shouldn't act like that. But that's still what, like 7 months out of the year here. It's very brown and there's a lot of things to enjoy, and you guys know I try really hard to wrestle with my seasonal affective disorder and to find the joy and the beauty and the greenery. It's amazing how much I need the greenery in daily life, even when it's not like that outside. But man, today I'm really grateful. Let's talk about the things I'm grateful for first. But today I'm really grateful because I have a wonderful home with Chips. We actually bumped into each other on the street when I was taking mail out to our mailbox, which isn't attached to our house. And it was like a meet cute. I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that guy. And he was like, hey, and we don't bump into each other in strange places outside. You know what I mean? So it was really fun. So that was something I'm grateful for. And then today here in the forest for my walk, I'm grateful that the weather is warm enough. It's still very cool, but warm enough that I can come and walk in the forest. Because I've missed that, and it's been bitterly cold the last few days. We even had snow in April. So I'm really grateful that I can walk outside comfortably and without worrying about slipping on ice or something like that. And I'm very grateful for the birds. Can you hear them? Now they've gone a little quiet, just like they always do when you try to share a bird song with someone. But the cardinals, the chickadees, the house sparrows, house finches, the crows. Ah, I hear the house finch. Almost like a goldfinch, that little one. I would love to compare the finch's song one day. That would be something really fun to do with all of you. So I'm very grateful for all of those things. And I'm also thinking about how much I miss green. And I miss... Lately, I'll talk about this over a lot of days because I hope that we have a lot of days of this place in my little greenhouse in the vlogs together coming up. But lately, one of the big things I've been thinking about is what a life would look like if you truly lived it in accordance with your dreams. And I think it's very easy to ask yourself that question and then immediately be like, oh, but it's totally okay if it doesn't look like that. Because you know, you gotta roll with the punches. You just have to accept some things. And I think that's really important, to have a flexibility and an acceptance of the circumstances you're in. To be able to say, yes, I love green things and I really thrive in a warmer climate, but I'm very happy here in Michigan in a lot of ways. That's important, to be able to have that flexibility and balance. But I'm finding that it makes it hard when I immediately smack down what a life, not perfect, I'm not talking about trying to fulfill some perfect expectation of my life, but just if I close my eyes and really think, what would make me feel the most inspired to move around, to do, to create, to feel like physically and mentally and emotionally part of the world every day, I think that's better than to ask yourself that question rather than ask yourself, what does a perfect life look like? Because a lot of people have already defined what perfect should be, and I think we subconsciously will just regurgitate what we've been told a perfect life should look like. And for me, lately, I've been thinking, not about perfect, but what would inspire me to create the most? What makes me want to just jump up and spin around and do whatever it takes to do that thing? Storytelling is one of those things. And being in a place where there is natural beauty, and I can find that walking down a street in a residential area. I found that in the middle of Taipei, walking past all of the parks they had there, walking past all of the plants that people had, just sitting in my studio apartment that we were renting in Taipei and watching the birds and the roof cats come by. Like, I can find natural beauty in places that aren't just like, yeah, Hawaii, I found it there too. But what I'm trying to say with that, see, I already did it again, kind of smacking down, trying to be like, Oh, I don't want you to assume I'm trying to be spoiled or anything with this dream of mine. But what really inspires me is natural beauty, and I think that's why nature, just nature. There's nature here right now, but I mean the kind that's green and leafy and moving and has little surprises waiting for you to find. I'm talking about the kind that humbles you. That's what I'm talking about. Like when I stood in front of the lava flow in the Big Island in Hawaii and watched the lava pour into the ocean, and everyone there, dozens of people, we didn't even speak, no, there must have been easily a dozen different languages and hardly a shared word between all of us, completely silent. Everyone had walked 2.5 to 5 miles to that spot to be able to see that lava flow before it shifted a couple years ago. And it was so humbling, and I wanted to take that and share it with you guys. The first time I saw a beaver when I was living in North Carolina, and we were in the middle of a city, and it was a city park, and I just was walking on the normal loop that you guys have seen old vlogs of little baby me at that lake walk, and I looked up. In fact, I think I have it on camera. There was a beaver. That was humbling, because to be in such a curated park and then have beavers and then later river otters, when I was recording Pokemon Go there once, pop up was humbling to me. To stand on top of the lookouts at the Blue Ridge Mountains is humbling. To be in this forest and walk past a tree that I've walked past easily hundreds of times before and realize, wait a second, this flower, this is one of the rare native species that they're trying actively to protect in this area. That was humbling. I guess that's what inspires me. And I guess I'm trying to figure out why there's this impulse to be like, yeah, but that's the dream life, right? To be able to be in a pretty place like that all the time. You just can't do that. What voice is that? Whose voice is that? I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and it kind of all started when I started thinking about what I actually need in my life and started doing a lot of purging of the house that has Chip's very excited because he's a minimalist, but also completely confused at this sudden huge pivot in my personality that I'll talk about more later. Good pivot, but a pivot for sure. And then it really crystallized when Chips and I were, hey little red squirrel, if you'd come out to say hello, that'd be fun. That would humble me, because then something would have emerged from all these sticks and I could have something to look at. But Chips and I were just looking at cute YouTube videos of ducklings on my birthday, and we found the Safari Live channel. And I'm watching this group of people, naturalists and tour guides. I'm actually freaking tearing up. Do what I wish I could do. In a way. I love what I do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I want a job change or something like that. But I think it's amazing when you see something that just grips you with inspiration. Hello, Crow. If you came down from the sticks, I could share you with everybody too. And doesn't let go. And finding the Safari Live channel and that group, watching the tour guides go out for 6 hours a day, rotating tour guides. I'll talk more details about the Safari Live group at some point. What I'm trying to say is they're out there. And the pace isn't the fast Twitch and YouTube pace. The pace isn't the social media pace of, hey guys, jump cuts, boom, 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 boom. There, I showed you the entire wonders of Yellowstone National Park in 10 minutes and 25 seconds. Like, it's a daily pace going on the same spots and finding natural beauty, and it just makes my heart overflow to hear people's voices crack as they go, oh, look at that bird, and they're just like, this is a fascinating lilac-chested roller, absolutely beautiful, and then they just sit in silence with you for like 5 minutes watching this bird, and it's the happiest I have been in a very long time to have that sense of parasocial community. Parasocial because I don't know these people. They're hosts on a live safari tour through National Geographic's channel. But it's a sense of instant community to hear other people get so excited about seeing elephant dung and about being able to see the way that there's nothing. They keep company with you. They talk about how they love animals with you. There's periods of silence and peace. It's amazing, and I am so inspired by that. So again, it's going to take a long time for me, let alone to share with you guys, to dismantle how much this has influenced my life, but it has significantly. I am reevaluating everything I want about the future and everything I thought that I had to just accept as, you know, everybody's got to make sacrifices. I'm reevaluating the idea of like buying a house. Chips and I were thinking we were gonna buy a house in the next couple of years, and suddenly I would rather save money and maybe travel the world and take you guys with me. My job can go anywhere. He could write his PhD in any country. In fact, we actually probably have to move to Taipei or Japan. Not this year, but next academic year. Not this, in like 2021 or something like that. Yeah. Wow, I said it. Basically, there's birds singing all around me right now. And I want to be able to share those things with you guys too, on top of being Seri, the pixel biologist. So what I'm trying to say is, sitting here in the Michigan woods, there's a lot of things I can be grateful for, and I am grateful for, and that I will write in my joy journal, and that I'm happy to share with you guys. I'm actually finding a lot of peace in coming out here, not only with the eyes of a biologist who left her training to become a storyteller, but also a storyteller, as somebody who loves the natural world, and also someone who sits here and will come up with stories like, what are in the tree cavities? What do those 3 crows have to say? What if each one of them had a piece of a magic spell to tell me? Or maybe I want to make a story about the colony of squirrels that lives here. Or perhaps I could tell you a story about the treasures that a chipmunk has hidden away under a log. I'm also a storyteller. And so for me, I find a lot of inspiration coming out in the forest. I would love to maybe have a fun way where we could make up stories about the things that we find. Maybe create our own like fake Pokemon or something some days. So I got a little wandery there, but what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of things about being in Michigan, even in stick season, being somewhere cold, even in April, when I wish I was surrounded by budding flowers instead, that I can accept and I can find things to be grateful for. But a big part of me is wondering if I took some really big leaps instead. Just where could my adventures actually take me? If I was willing to trade a lot of things in my life, what if I could walk outside every day and be somewhere green and lush and turn on my cell phone and start a stream with you guys and go on a hike? What if instead of beating down that sudden flush of inspiration and passion and excitement and willingness to reshape my whole world, what if instead of hitting that down and telling myself that everybody, just don't be so indulgent in your dreams? What if instead of stopping myself from being so indulgent in my dreams, I actually jumped and made them happen? And with that, I'm going to start heading back home. I have some cookies to make for Chips. And now I've kind of started to begin what will hopefully be a really great story to share with you guys. What will hopefully be the story of finding myself, of dreaming every day, and maybe a big change in my life Taken slowly. Ooh, now I feel like I have a little bit of a social obligation though. Siri has said, don't tell yourself to stop dreaming. Stop smacking down when you feel inspired to do something. And now I feel like I need to live up to that. Oh, little baby red squirrel. I just walked up on a pair of mating hawks. I think that these are red-tailed hawks. They're very small. It's very overcast, so it's hard to identify them. I'm gonna have to look at the video I just snagged of the female who stayed sitting. The male flew off as soon as they were done mating, but it was a very distinct weak weird call. And I looked up and I saw them mating through the trees, and I managed to get close enough to take a good picture of her. But he has flown off, as birds often do as soon as they're done mating. And I feel so freaking happy and alive right now, even though to get close enough to be able to show you guys what's going on, I'm in a thorn bush. These are pretty prickly thorns. It has got my hair, it has got my legs, but she's up there. I'm living my best life, believe it or not. Thorn bush and all. I am so freaking happy right now. Also, really quickly, I don't mean to imply that I am not already happy, because I am. I live a wonderful, happy, fairy tale life that I wake up every day and go, is this real? Every day. But I think that it's also fine. I think that it's normal to live a life that brings you fulfillment and contentment, and to occasionally want to go surfing. And I don't mean literal surfing. I mean surfing on what you feel is a peak experience for you. On what you feel is just totally in tune with your sense of purpose and enjoyment and fulfillment out of what life can have to offer. And for me, a huge part of that is being in places of natural beauty, or celebrating at least natural beauty, even in the middle of a city, and sharing that with other people who are part of that same immediate overflowing heart sense of community, who also are going to get excited about animal dung in the forest and mating hawks and follow me into the thorn bushes to search for them. And I think instead of telling myself it's selfish to dream those dreams and to want to surf on those experiences, I'm starting to kind of, just like when you walk out into the water of the ocean for the first time and you feel the swell sort of pick you up and you're like, whoo, you kind of have a feeling of leaping into the water and giving yourself over to a strength bigger than yourself. I think I'm starting to want to find what those are. And ironically, a lot of that involves walking around the forest patiently and quietly and sharing what I find with all of you.